Hey there, Ultizeta here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Yooka-Laylee! In the last episode, we got here to... place... Ow. Flying is kind of obnoxious in a place like this. And yeah, so we're here and doing stuff. Oh. You know, blue on blue is not exactly visible platonic. Don't know if you, like, knew that or not, but kind of true fact. Surprised there's no, like, butterflies in here. Alright, Power Bar, come back to me. Come back to me. There we go. I don't know why it's so randomly rigid when it gets restored. But it is. I turned the lighthouse on! Oh hey, there's a molecule up there. Bring me back to the port. Yay! I did it! How do I get out of here? Oh, I'm going the right way, at least. Right. Molecule! I would like you very much in my face. Camera were better. That was kind of the nice thing about Banjo-Kazooie's camera, is that it kind of, like, worked in your favor sometimes when, you know, you're doing stuff. Also, something interesting I kind of realized about Banjo-Kazooie is, like, this... I was complaining about, or, well, just pointing out how you could just kind of start flying whenever the hell you feel like in this, and that was, like, a different thing from how basically all how Banjo-Kazooie's, like, flight worked, and that was you had to do it from a very specific point. Then I kind of realized, in between episodes, that that's basically how every single move in this game works. Everything in Banjo-Kazooie almost had, like, pads to do it, or whatever. Like, there was very specific moments where you had to use moves. And it was very clearly telegraphed for you. I'm a pirate ship. This is a lot of things to keep track of. Okay. Interesting. Well, so it is interesting that basically Banjo was very strict about when it would let you do these particular things. Whereas Yooka is just like, do them whenever you kind of want to, you know? And I do think there is an interesting aspect of that. Like, there are pros and cons to the idea. So, like, in Banjo, it kind of hurt the puzzle solving in the sense that, like, you know, the game kind of already told you exactly what it was that you're meant to be doing in any given situation. But it also made it, like, less about the puzzles and more about the doing. You know? You really weren't necessarily trying to solve puzzles, you were just trying to exist and proceed through things. Also, this is how I'm actually meant to go back and get that other thing. Interesting. So there is that. I don't necessarily think, though, that... I'm just gonna check this, just give it a formal sweep, just to make sure. I don't necessarily think it's a problem, it's just a different philosophy of game design. What it does, however, do is it makes Yooka-Laylee a lot more complicated than Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie was actually fairly simple. There was a lot you could do, but most of all of it was relegated to very specific moments. In this game, you can do all of it whenever the hell you want. Pretty much. So what that does is make the moveset very complicated. It makes you have to press a lot of different buttons to do things, which is why I keep forgetting what I'm actually pressing to do things. And it does kind of, in a way, clutter the design of the game, I think. Banjo-Kazooie was more streamlined. And so, yeah, some things of it might have been a little bit more obvious in this game, but it wasn't trying to be a major puzzle, it was just trying to be a collectathon where you have fun doing stuff. And it wasn't, that isn't to say Banjo-Kazooie didn't have some good puzzles in it either. It's more just me pointing out, like, yeah, there are aspects of this design. And really, there are aspects of Yooka-Laylee's design that kind of further this it was cluttered style. Like, the biggest kicker I can think of is that Yooka-Laylee isn't just trying to be Banjo-Kazooie, it's trying to be Rareware. And so, the main issue there is that it's pulling in stuff from Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong Country, Conker's Bad Fur Day, probably even stuff like Perfect Dark and Jet Force Gemini and Blast Corps and Killer Instinct and, I don't know, stuff. It's just pulling in stuff. This is not necessarily just Banjo-Kazooie, it's rare stuff. That's why there's so much more fourth wall breaking in this. That was a Conker's Bad Fur Day thing. That's why there are the minecart things. That's Donkey Kong 64 and Country. Like, when it's trying to be Banjo-Kazooie, it honestly does its job pretty well. Like I said, it's been going pretty well so far, I'd say. And, like, just in general, I don't know, for the most part, the majority of the gameplay works. The problem comes in when it's doing all this other stuff that just feels like it's thrown together. It's a mishmash of different ideas. Yooka-Laylee's biggest issue is that it's not a focused game. That's why the segments like the minecart or the different mini-games don't work. Because for all intents and purposes, they're not part of the formula that they are meant to be here. They don't fit the world because they don't fit. They're not meant to. They're just there to be cool rehashes of old ideas. And I feel like they're this weird aspect that didn't necessarily need to be here. And I think I'm not alone in that feeling either. So, I don't know. Apparently, Heidi McHiderperson is over here somewhere. Ah. So, it is just kind of this weird conglomeration thing, and so, I don't know. It strikes me as just an unfocused development. Like, they didn't pick an idea and stick with it. They tried to throw as much into it as they could. And while the idea of that on paper is admirable, like, you know, these guys didn't just make Banjo-Kazooie. They made all these other games, and they liked these other games, and people still want to see these other games. But I feel like putting them in here the way they did kind of affected things. In a way, it even kind of ruined the magic of Banjo, in a way. Like, this isn't Banjo that I'm playing. It's mishmash Banjo. It's unfocused Banjo. Banjo-Kazooie has its flaws, yes, it's not a perfect game. A lot of people, I feel, hold it much higher regard than the game kind of, in a way, deserves? I mean, maybe that's probably a bit harsh. It's not an awful game, I just don't think it aged well at all. And I kind of hate the controls of it, especially the camera. I feel like Banjo was severely limited by the console it was on, which is why, theoretically, this game should work really well, because it's Banjo-Kazooie unhindered by the console it's on. The problem there is that it's not Banjo-Kazooie, it's just not. And really, that is a shame. Because I do genuinely think a new Banjo-Kazooie would have been great. But we didn't get that. And Yooka-Laylee isn't a bad game so far. Like, I hate a lot about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving it a free pass. At all. I'm not forgetting the parts I dislike either. But, yeah. There are certainly aspects that I am not pleased with in this game. But I would say the biggest thing is just... there could be so much more. This could have been a much more polished... Like, imagine if, say, they just took out all the minecarts, took out all the Rextro minigames, and instead devoted that time to, I don't know, designing a... sixth world, maybe? I don't know. Like, they could have done more. They could have put more focus into what worked here, rather than trying to do too much. Honestly, the minecart sections and the minigame sections, on their own, could have made for perfectly fine games, if they were designed to be standalone things. I don't hate the minecart sections of Donkey Kong Country. I like them, because they're simplistic. The game itself is designed around platforming, so the minecart segments like that aren't actually... They're not weird pace breakers like they are in this. They're simplistic, because they understand that the point of the game is not minecart segments. They're not trying to overcomplicate things or anything. They're just existing to be a nice little break from the traditional action, I suppose. So, it is in that regard that I think the game here is just it's misunderstanding things. Like, realistically, this could have been much more. It could have been much more polished. It could have been much more focused. This world is extremely tiny. Hello? Are there only 3 islands right now? I mean, I know that I haven't expanded the world, but... I feel like this is, like, a step backward in level design. Like... I don't know. There's 3 areas here. I kind of been derailed by this elevation. Am I missing something about this place? Not from what I can see. There's this place, there's that place, and then there's that place. I don't see anything... What? I've been here for a half hour. This doesn't feel right. This feels really weird as a level right now. Hold on, I don't think I actually fully explored right over up here. I went in the door, and then I went back down, but I don't know if I paid close attention to this area. There was something I opened up, didn't I? Yeah, I opened up this. Okay, so I'm not quite done yet, but I don't know where this is gonna lead me. Probably just an indoor segment. But let's find out, I guess. Cosmic Cavern. Oh, it's instant death. Okay. What's the move again? Y? I think I pressed X. No, it's X and I pressed Y. Are you kidding me? I tried to even jump at the end because I saw I was running out and you didn't let me jump for some reason. Okay. Well, I don't have quills to go for anymore, so... Oh, I have that one. Alright, that happened. Why is there a toilet here? I guess it's something for the eyes to possess? It is. Man, they can possess anything except the kitchen sink. Because I haven't seen a kitchen sink yet. Oh, that's a wall. I guess I'm supposed to go through here. This is a place. Certainly. Wow, it really drains your bat. It's dumb that that drains your power. Not gonna lie. Alright, well, I found a switch. That just turned it all off. Alright. I'm fine with that. Oh, sure, we'll be right over. Yes? Uh-huh. I'm torn right now. 'Cause that's both a funny acknowledgement and also kind of undermines everything that we're doing at the same time. So... I'll just go with shrug? Yeah, shrug seems non-committal enough as a response to that. Okay, well, check above. Ooh, 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 ooh! I am glad I tried that, because I didn't get anything from going on top. But I did see another thing that I want. Get... Oh my god. I hate the flying control of this. I hate these controls. Holy crap. Alright, I got it. Okay. Power extension is a go. I went the wrong way. So, yeah. Well, I guess that's it for this level? I'm not gonna end my session here. That was just kind of mediocre. Also, what's to stop me from just flying over this? Like, you know, theoretically? Also, is there anything down here? Potentially? I don't know. They took the time to put all this in water. But it might have just been like a fail-safe thing. Yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, hey, Crab! You finally cameoed. Good for you. Yeah, I don't see anything explicit. Why bother with this? In order to get to this level, we needed to have flight. Like... I think that's a really bad design aspect, thinking about it. Like, they're not expecting you to have it for some of this stuff. Like, for going across that, like, it worked for the sonar shield, and it was what I thought of because, you know, it was the new move I got. But just, like, 5 minutes earlier, practically, I don't know, I mean, that's an exaggeration, but 5 minutes earlier, we got this thing that lets us fly over everything. So, what the heck is the point of having platforming in this point now? At least platforming that doesn't limit you. At least put a ceiling so you can't fly over all of it. And then, like, when you fall down, like, all you need is a power thing. So put, like, a butterfly down there. You don't need the platform here. I feel like the fact that they have the platform there is them not realizing that this is designed to be after the point when you get the free roam flight power. And I don't know, the rest of this level seems kind of like designed with it in mind, I suppose, because like it is all kind of spread out in islands and stuff. It kind of makes sense. But I don't know, this feels like just unfortunate design right now. Like, they didn't seem to take into consideration how much this is going to break the game. And I mean, I guess, yeah, theoretically, it's just an option to use, and it's not necessarily the only way or the intended way. Like, it's just an option, so but I don't know, it doesn't feel like a good design philosophy to me. Anyways, Regardless, what the hell do I do now? I was expecting to get, like, at least 5 episodes out of going to the last level, but before expanding it, there's practically nothing in it. I'm done with it in an episode and a half. That's awkward. So, I guess... I'll go start my revisiting old areas thing. Finish up World 1. Maybe try World 2. I don't know. See you guys in the next episode. This was weird. Everything's weird.